This could be one of those legacy sequels that could be really, really good and actually measure up to the original, or it can be a complete disaster. What's up, everybody? So, some updates or rumors, depending on how you want to categorize them, have been popping up regarding Heat 2, which is like the prequel, sequel of the 1995 Michael Mann movie Heat, which at that time starred Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. It being the first time that those two powerhouse actors finally shared the screen together, even though they were in the same movie with The Godfather Part 2, but this is the first time you can actually see them have scenes together. And it's an all-time classic. And since then, Michael Mann wrote a novel about like what happened before and then what happened after the events of the first movie. Now, there have been some interesting casting choices that I've heard. Nothing's really been finalized just yet. I've heard Adam Driver being the younger version of Robert De Niro's character. I've heard Austin Butler being the younger version of Val Kilmer's character. Now there's a kind of an interesting, actor circling, this particular movie, not being the younger version of anybody, but if he's in the movie, I'm down for it. And that's Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know what character he would play in this, but I would love to see that lineup of those three actors work together. I think Michael Mann's best days as a director are behind him. I think he kind of reached his peak with Heat, in my opinion, even though he did some pretty good movies after the fact. But, I think I agree with Quentin Tarantino. A great director is not unlike a great athlete. There's a peak amount of movies that they could do their thing, and then after that, you can see how it just kind of all dissipates, with very few exceptions. Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg being those guys, even though you could point to some of their movies that are like, that's really not as good as things that they've done in the past. Michael Mann, for my taste, the movies that he's done, even Ali, I was not a big fan of Ali at all. I remember wanting to walk out of the movie theater 15 minutes into it, but I stuck around anyways. And it didn't do it for me. But the one thing that I think Michael Mann does probably better than anybody is crime drama. And Heat is one of those all-time classics that he did, along with Manhunter and what's the other crime movie that he did? Thief. Classic movies. So I think he definitely knows how to play in this playground of the crime drama genre. I'm just not really sure what he has left in the tank, to be very honest. And on top of that, this is another kind of piece of inside baseball thing. He wants $200 million to make this movie. Now, this is a crime drama. There's no CGI, there's no aliens, there's no superheroes. So why the hell do you need $200 million? I mean, the first one made, I think, about $125 million. Okay, so the fact that you need almost double what the profit was to make the sequel, I think it's just overdoing it. I also read an article where when the studio said no, he went back and they're like, okay, I'll give you a discount, 170 million. And it's like, this is the kind of movie that, crime drama works because it's not about the amount of money you put into it. It's how resourceful you can be with the material and the actors that you have. It's all about the story. It's not about the spectacle of everything. It's not a James Bond movie, and this is where I think there's like a disconnect in Hollywood with like how much money is needed or how much bloat is going to be tacked on to the budget. Just make a great story with great, capable, competent actors, and the money will come. So I hope that this budget thing is just rumors, so that way we can just kind of focus on the things that are actually important, which is making, in this case, a legacy sequel to an all-time classic that hopefully measures up to the original. Anyways, those are my thoughts. What about you? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button, give me a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.